Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So today we've got our kids all coming in for dinner tonight. So we are making, well, my husband is. I'm going to be watching him. He's making sweet and sour meatballs that will go over rice. And so we thought we would bring you along for it. All right, well, let's get going. Okay, so we are now ready to get going on this. And now we're doubling the recipe because there's going to be so many of us. So the recipe normally calls for 1 pound of ground beef, but we're going to be using 2 pounds of ground beef. And once again, you can make this for as many people as you want. You can cut the recipe in half. You can double it, triple it, whatever works for you and your family. So you're just going to mix all the meatball ingredients first. So now we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of milk. And then we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt. It's up there. Okay, then we're going to add in 2 eggs. Oh. And then we're going to add in a cup of dry breadcrumbs, and we use the panko breadcrumbs. You can also make your homemade breadcrumbs if you want, or whatever breadcrumbs you like. We just like panko. And then we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of finely chopped onion and 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And my husband is being smarter than what I have been lately, and he's using the handy dandy little chopper instead of relying on his chopping skills like I've been doing lately. Whew, that's a potent onion. Really slam it down. Yep.
Sorry, folks.
That's the way I do it.
I'm new at this.
You're doing just fine. Okay, so he's got that. And like I said, he's much smarter than I am. The last couple times I've used a knife, and then I cry the whole entire time. This goes quick. Okay, so now he's going to add in 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And then he's going to mix it up with his hands. And I do recommend that you put on gloves when you're doing it, like what he's doing. But if you don't have gloves, just plain hands, just make sure they're really clean. You still want them clean, even if you're wearing gloves, because nobody wants to.
Yeah, I cleaned my hands.
Nobody wants to know you didn't wash your hands before you touch their food. Okay, and then he's going to be shaping these into 1.5-inch balls. And then we will be cooking it over medium heat until they are brown, which will take about 20 minutes. So I'm only going to bring you in for bits and pieces of that because you don't want to have to watch that the whole time. Now we are going to be putting this in a crock pot. So we're actually making this ahead of time. And then we're going to put it in a crock pot and let it stay warm throughout the day so that when the kids get here, everything's ready to go and we don't have to worry about anything. And we do serve this over rice. And I know a lot of times people are like, what? But yeah, it goes over rice. So, and then he's just going to form those into balls.
I think I might need to add a little bit more breadcrumbs.
Okay. Is it not sticking?
Not holding together very good.
Okay. You know, the nice part about recipes is that you can, they're just a guide. You make it your own.
And we might have been slightly over 2 pounds of hamburger, so
Oh, okay.
that's kind of a...
Is that much better?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Can you get me a spoon?
What size spoon?
That one right there.
Okay.
Thank you. Need a spoon, it kind of helps. Once you get rolling, then you make them as small as you want, big as you want. You know, it's a good size meatball.
Can you hold it closer, like right here? Thank you. Okay.
That might even have been a little too big.
He held it too high so the camera didn't pick it up.
I think this is more of the size
Yeah,
you
I think
want.
that's more the size that you should have.
They just eat more of them. They think they're not tricking me. All right.
This is a dish that our kids do love. So, all right, well, he's going to do that for a little bit, and so I will bring you back when we head over to the oven to start cooking them. Otherwise, this part is really kind of boring, and I'm sure you don't want to watch that. All right, so we'll be right back. Okay, so he's plugging along, and he's made quite a few meatballs. He did also point out that one nice thing about wearing gloves, and I didn't think about it, is that your hands get all nice and greasy from the meat. So, and it protects it from that. So, but yeah, they're looking good. They're gonna really, I'm sure the kids are gonna love them. And so he's gonna keep on plugging along, and we'll keep going at this. So I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, we're still plugging along. I don't know why I say we. My husband's doing all the work. I'm just standing here watching, kind of like in a supervisory position.
I need supervision.
So, but we're getting there. We're gonna have a whole plate of meatballs. Thank you.
You're welcome.
To cook up. So good thing we have a lot of mouths to feed because there's going to be a lot here, and he still has quite a bit of hamburger to go through. So we're going to keep on plugging along, and I will bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, so we are getting down to the final few meatballs that have to be, I almost said onion rings, and I was like, no, that's not right. We're getting down to the final few meatballs. And as you can tell, we have a pretty good pile going there. And we're going to clean up and take a moment to rest and then get them into the frying pan to start cooking them up. So
Last one.
Oh, last one. There you go.
179. Just kidding.
There's not that many, but there's a lot. All right, so we're going to bring you back in just a few minutes. Okay, so after he made all the meatballs, he did put them in the refrigerator for a few minutes to kind of get them cold. They stay together better that way. So now we're just going to add a little bit of oil to the frying pan and start cooking those wonderful looking
Meatballs.
meatballs. You guys, I'll get it straight at one point. Or not. So you don't want to crowd the pan. You want to just make for sure that you add just enough in there to cook without overcrowding.
This will definitely be done in batches.
And then as he cooks them, he's going to put them in that bowl over there so that he can then make the sauce that goes with it, and it's just easier to stir it all together that way. Okay. Look at him go.
One more. You always want to add one more, right?
One more. Okay, so we're just going to let these cook, and I will bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, so the first batch is done, and it's ready to be taken off.
I don't need to add any more oil. The first batch gets some of the fat out of the hamburger, so now we just use that.
And it's smelling really good in here.
I hope so.
It is. Okay, so we're going to cook the next batch, and as you can tell, we still have a whole lot more to go. So while that's cooking, we're going to just do some other things. Okay, so we're taking batch number 2 out and putting them in the bowl. And now we're going to add the rest of the meatballs. And here I am saying we like I'm doing something important.
She is. She's running the camera. She's the director behind the scenes. All right.
Okay, they're all in there. Okay, so we're just going to continue cooking them. So here's what the bowl of meatballs look like. And we still have one more batch to go in there, but it's looking really good. It smells, the kitchen smells amazing. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Okay, the last batch is coming off. And they're looking really good. I think we're going to have a lot of happy people. Okay, so now we have to move over to the other side of the kitchen and get going on some other things. Okay, so he's going to be chopping up bell peppers. And are you going to use the little chopper? Or are you just doing
for the
that?
onions.
Oh, for the onions, okay.
You preferred the bigger chunks of the green pepper.
Yeah. So we have, what do we have? 2 bell peppers?
2 bell peppers. Usually it's 1, but with the increased size of the recipe. And the kids don't like the bell peppers, but me and Mom do.
Yeah. So if they're larger, they can pick them out. So we do end up usually with a lot of sauce and bell peppers afterwards for leftovers. No meat. And these are some fragrant bell peppers.
All right.
Okay, so now what's next?
Next is the onion. We're going to
Okay.
try this and see if I can do it.
Okay. And cinnamon. Oh, if you have to. Oh yeah, you did a great job. Our dog is giving us dirty looks.
Why are you making so much noise? I'm trying to sleep.
That's pretty
That
much
went
what
a
he's
lot better
doing.
than the small
Yep.
onion.
Okay. All right, so we have our bell peppers and our onions ready to go. Okay, and then we need to, we're using 2 cans of pineapple, and we use the pineapple chunks. And we keep the syrup in it, right?
That is correct. Syrup stays in. That one was a little bit tough.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we're back over here on this side. He's adding a little bit more olive oil because you got to saute up the onions. And we're just using the same skillet that we cooked the meat in because why not? Also, it gives it a little more extra flavor.
Not everybody likes to do this, but I like to grill these up just a little bit before the if you put the pineapple in now, you're never going to get these little fun things to have some grill to them.
It's looking good.
And you guys do have smell-o-vision at home, and that would be when you cook this, you'll smell it yourself.
Exactly.
Because now the onions and bell peppers are smelling delicious.
Yes, they are, and they're looking really good too. You can tell.
Yeah. Just want to cook them off a little bit. Nothing major. All right, I think that's good. Let me.
Okay.
Yeah. You got a little bit of color to them. Now we'll put the pineapple in. Turn that down just a little bit.
Doesn't that look delicious? You could eat it just that way, but. Okay, so now he's adding some soy sauce. And he's doing 2 tablespoons, or to taste, as he says. So it's 2 tablespoons plus.
How much?
What are you looking for? We'll get our act together, guys.
Yep.
We will. Okay, now he's adding in vinegar. He's adding in 2/3 cup. Okay, and then he is adding in some cornstarch, and I don't remember how much he's supposed to add.
And I'm going to tell you that. 2 tablespoons
So
to
he's
start
adding
with.
2 tablespoons. And this is to help thicken it up. And
It's snowing everywhere. We are in Vegas. I don't know. It snows here. Now we'll just bring this up to temperature. It should thicken it.
and then when do you add the brown sugar?
Oh, I totally forgot the brown sugar. That should go in right now.
Okay.
Oops.
So he's going to add a cup of brown sugar. And you want to pack it a little bit. Okay. And you want to be careful when you're adding brown sugar because you don't want to turn it into caramel. And then you're just going to cook this until it thickens a little bit, and then you're going to add it on top of the meatballs.
And then you would serve this with rice right away, but what we're doing is putting it in a crock pot on warm. And so when the family gets here, it's all ready for them.
Yep. Okay, it is looking good. Okay, so it's going to continue to cook for a little bit longer, and so I will bring you back in a minute. Okay, the sauce is now starting to thicken up. You can really see that. It's looking really good. It's sticking to the spoon and just really getting nice and thick. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so now we're going to dump the meatballs into the crock pot, and then we'll add the sauce. Okay, looking good. And we're still trying to figure out how we're going to add the sauce, because it's in a great big huge skillet. So we're just going to pour it. Look at that. Look at all that deliciousness. Wow. It smells so good in here, guys. You should smell our kitchen. It's just smelling good.
They will smell the kitchen when they cook it.
So, and then we got to mix it all up, mix it together.
You gotta get out all that good stuff.
Okay. All right, so now he's just going to mix it up. So I actually got this recipe out of a Betty Crocker cookbook that we got shortly after we were married, and we've been making it for like 40 years or 40 plus years, and it's a family favorite. Okay, doesn't that look good? So it's just going to sit here on warm all day long till the kids get here, and we need to make some rice. Okay, well, I just want to thank you for coming along with us on this journey. We've had a good time. And, you know, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit the share button. And I hope that you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.